Hi and welcome back. I'm George Pierce and I want to thank you for watching. This video is about a possible solution to the COPPA and FTC issue that we're having on YouTube, and it relates to YouTube, COPPA, FTC, and of course the YouTube children's channel creators. And as you probably know, changes are, some changes are happening and some major changes are probably going to happen around the 1st of January. According to COPPA, children's channels are defined as anyone that's under the age of 13. If you're not familiar, just to briefly bring you on board, if you're not familiar, COPPA is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. And FTC, of course, is Federal Trade Commission. And what has happened is that recently, of course, YouTube received over $170 million in fines for violating the Children's Privacy Act. And of course, they're taking steps to make sure that that doesn't ever happen again, and I don't blame them. But the steps that they're taking, it's kind of like they're just severing one of their limbs, you might say. And rather than do that, I believe there's another option. So stay tuned, because I'm going to share that with you shortly. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so the information in this video is for informational purposes only, and it's not meant to be any kind of advice, but I feel as though there may be some merit in what I'm sharing, and it may help possibly millions of YouTube creators, so that's the reason for this video. The nucleus of the issue, in my opinion, let me share that with you. It seems to center around the fact that websites and social media platforms directed at children under 13 cannot take that personal information from those children, and they cannot use or access the web cookies of those children without parental permission, without parental consent. And what this means is that YouTube children's channels cannot keep track. They cannot send updates. They cannot do notifications and so on. So essentially what's happened is that's kind of handcuffing these channels so that it's virtually impossible, or seems to be nearly impossible, for YouTube to monetize these channels. So that's what's in the process of what seems to be about to happen, is that a lot of these channels are no longer going to be able to be monetized because they can't keep track of anything, and that also works for the advertisers as well as the creators, YouTube, and so on. No monetization, of course, is a disaster for possibly millions of people. I don't know how many YouTube creators there are that have children's channels. I don't know an exact number, but I'm sure it's a large number. So there's a large number of people that are being affected as far as creators. In addition, we are all affected in a sense because it also affects YouTube. And anytime that YouTube's financial health is harmed, it harms the whole of YouTube in a sense. So YouTube's reaction is basically to cut. It seems like their reaction is going to be simply to just cut things off. In other words, since they're not going to be able to monetize these channels, YouTube children's video creators are not going to be able to earn money through AdSense. They'll be able to earn money in other ways, but not through the YouTube Partnership Program. In my opinion, this may be a huge mistake. I know that YouTube certainly should know more than I know, but it's possible that they have overlooked this. So therefore, this video, and therefore what I'm about to share with you, because I believe that it's right under everybody's nose, and we're just not seeing it. The solution is partly based on the fact, and I want to impress upon you, and I appreciate you watching, and hopefully that maybe YouTube will get wind of this, and YouTube children's creators will go into this, but I want you to impress upon you, again, this is my opinion, but there are a couple of facts that are very relative, in my opinion, to this whole situation. And number one is that the kids love these videos. And the reason why they love these videos is they are quality videos. Even though they're kids' videos, the content is absolutely excellent. And therefore, most parents would be in favor, apparently are in favor, since these kids are watching these channels. So they would continue to be in favor of their children continuing to watch these videos. However, if all this demonetization happens, then most of these YouTube creators, the children's creators, are not going to be able to financially produce these kind of films. In addition, these channels are not able to be monetized, and therefore they are not viable in YouTube's eyes. And I can understand that. YouTube cannot have millions of channels that and all these videos and so on that could never make them any money. My suggestion is a way that I believe that YouTube and children's channels should be able to monetize and still satisfy COPPA and FTC. And now, to reiterate, websites and social media platforms, and this is not necessarily word for word, but I think it's the gist of everything. Websites and social media platforms directed at kids under 13 cannot take the personal information, cannot access the web cookies of these children without parental consent. Well, why don't we get parental consent? Am I missing something? Is YouTube missing something? Are the creators missing something? So my suggestion is why not take a look at getting parental consent? I think in most cases the parents are going to give their consent because the kids are watching the videos already. The kids are loving the videos. The content is spectacular. So why not go that route? And then you have parental consent. Then you can keep track of the children. Then you can do cookies, and so then you can take the personal information, and then you can access the website cookies, and therefore you can properly monetize these channels and continue to keep these channels going, continue to keep this fantastic content going, and continue to keep that part of the audience, because these kids are going to grow up and continue to watch YouTube. So in my opinion, why not look at asking for parental consent, acquiring parental consent, possibly even something like KidsTube. It'd be YouTube, but maybe a KidsTube section. In order to keep the FTC and COPPA happy, perhaps YouTube can take a few additional steps if there are any. Again, this is just my opinion and a suggestion, but to make the government happy, you might say, they could take some additional steps to make sure that in no way that this kind of information could be predatory. And of course, that's the whole idea. We're trying to protect these kids, but maybe everybody's kind of overdoing it. Unfortunately, everybody's an innocent bystander, and yet they're an injured party, including the kids, which is not fair to the kids as well as the parents. The parents may actually prefer that the kids do this because some of the other alternatives are maybe not as good of a choice. Getting parental consent, getting the permission, seems to me like that should be a logical alternative, or certainly one that should be explored. So my suggestion is that YouTube and YouTube creators consider taking a long, hard look at asking for parental consent. If you agree or if you disagree, I would appreciate your comment. If you like this video, certainly give us a like. Since I am part of the YouTube community, I feel compelled to make this suggestion, and because possibly it's a good one. And hopefully everybody's just overlooked it because it's right under our nose. And those are the easiest things to overlook sometimes. If making money online, if growing a YouTube channel is of interest to you, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell if you haven't done so already. And I do want to thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I sincerely do. And allow me to wish you much success.